Hey there viewers, and today we're going to be doing some smart animation for the mobile app on Sweat Health, and with a dash of neomorphism. Why don't we chuck that in just to have a play around on a Friday? Let's see how it goes. My name is Roy, I'm a web designer. If you do like the content, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and let's get into the video. So, three things we're going to tackle again is the mobile app, smart animate, neomorphism, hit the F key. We're going to go iPhone X, and what we're going to do is grab the logo that we did. So let's grab us this one here, go back to the app. This is going to be the loading screen as an example, and we are just going to shrink that down because that's quite big at the moment. So here you can go to scale once you've selected the whole group, and then shift and alt drag it down. I'd say around there is good enough. Okay, so that is the loading screen, and then the next screen we're going to do, let me do that again. So F, iPhone X. We are going to then go to the list view, showing you three different types of levels or metrics. So for example, what we're going to do is actually use these circles, but we're going to make these a bit different. So we are just going to make this a bit bigger. We can actually use 3 circles to represent each metric, which I think is pretty cool. So let's just make that a bit bigger. Okay, so we're just trying to imitate Sweat a bit. So here we've got the gradient, and then we want to do the same for the ones underneath. Make sure they're all going from top left ish to bottom right, and we want to start from 400. Ooh, okay, so that's the bottom one. So we go from there all the way to 400. Okay, and then this one here, again, top left to bottom right. We're gonna go to a lighter blue, 300. Okay, so that one's the bottom one, and here we go to 300. Okay, there we go. I think that's quite nice. And then what we're going to do is just copy this over to this frame, get rid of the logo. We're going to then position each one roughly, doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to bring the sizes right down. So 128 height. Okay, that's good enough. We'll do the same for this 128 height. This one, we'll say 128. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's good enough. So again, this is all nice and rough. Let's say we'd say 32 at least, or 24 pixels from the left, even though they're not all perfectly. There we go. Okay, so 24 pixels from the left, and then what we're going to do is we are then going to have another frame. This is the final screen, which is like the view page. So you got the list page, the view page. This is more detail, and we're going to copy this one, and we're just going to make this nice and big because we're going to make this like the background header. You can see the cool effect of this. Okay, so we basically got all our main ingredients. We got the loading screen, the list screen, the detail page, and the magic of this is as long as you copy the same bits over, for example, this main circle we're using, and you go to prototype. So let's go here, we're going to drag it across, and we got smart animate by default. We're going to say ease in and out, and then let's say 400 just to see the effect a bit better. Here we do the same thing, drag it across, smart animate 400 milliseconds, and let's see how this goes. So you see that nice effect there. Ooh, the last one didn't work. So we're going to find out why the last one didn't work. So that's quite nice, and that last one did not work. So let's investigate why. If I delete that one, so here I'm going in, that is called vector 5, and this one is also called vector 5. So if I copy that over here, go back to design, we're just enlarging it. I'm surprised that didn't work. So this is still vector 5, that is vector 5. They have to be the same name basically, and I think I might know why. So if we do that again, yeah, okay, I think I know why. So close that. So what we'll do is we'll just delete this frame. We're actually going to copy the whole thing. We're going to delete these two. So now hopefully it knows that we're using the same one here. We are then going to just go to scale and do it this way. Shift and Alt, bring it up. That's good enough. Let's just see if that works now. Oh yeah, and I forgot to link it up. Again, we go back. Here we go to prototype. We drag across, smart animate 400. We hit the play, and let's see if that works. Come on. Yes, nice. You see that? So it just zoomed right in, and that is basically smart animation or smart animate. It is really simple but so effective. Really nice prototype animation. So mobile app, smart animate. There's other little things we can do as well. So let's just bring that down, and let's bring in a heading. So what screen is this? This is, oh, we go back to design, hit T. This is sweat levels, typography size, well, heading size, we're going to 32. We're going to say semi-bold. We're going to say it's 32 from the left, and let's make it 80. Okay. So another thing, yeah, so then what we're going to do, this is going to be quick. You just copy that. We're going to bring this down to 18, and it's going to be regular. So this is hydration. We got lactose, and we have the last one, which is glucose. Okay, so nice and simple. We just select that. We don't want it to be the darkest gray, we want it to be the darkest blue. So just select the frame. There we go, nice and quick. So now we got the free list items. You would touch those, and then you would go to the detail page, and in this case it's going to be the hydration. So one thing we can do is you can see how this works actually. So paste that over here, make this a bit bigger, 24. We're going to put a metric in here, so I don't know the exact numbers, but 1.23. Don't use that as your password. We'll use Morganite, which is a really nice tool, condensed font. Nike Running have something very similar. Let's say semi-bold. Okay, so that stands out. That's the metric. And then from there we can introduce another thing here, so T, and it is good. So hydration is good. We're going to make this like a little capsule or a little tag kind of look, so Shift A, and we're going to make that smaller to 18. Select the whole frame. We're going to fill this with the lightest blue. We're going to half the height, so it's going to be purely round or round border radius, and we're going to play around with these, so 8, 16. Again, we're using the 8-point grid, and again here we just select the whole thing, make sure that the darkest grey is going to be the darkest blue. Nice. So we can put these into an auto layout, Shift A, so it lines up nicely. You can say 8, so it's a bit closer. Again, we can do Shift A to combine these three. We can say a spacing of 16 between, and we can vertically align in the center, even though it's not because of the height of this, but that is good enough. Okay, so that's pretty nice. And what we can introduce is a small symbol like a tick, just to indicate visually that your levels are good. So we're going to make this pure white. We're going to use the 8-point grid, so 96. I'm going to put that in the middle, and then what we're going to put in, well, we might as well do this now. So neomorphism, right? All it is adding drop shadows, and maybe it's not 100% neomorphism, but we're going to play around. So we add a drop shadow. We're going to make this quite big, so 20, or let's say 30, 20, 60. And we're going to grab again the darkest blue as the color. Make sure we bring the opacity down 20%. That's quite nice. We're going to copy that. We're going to bring it down here. We're going to make that a lot smaller. So let's divide that by 2. Okay, that's probably too small. Let's plus 8. Okay. There we go. And then we're just going to go over to good old Tailwind CSS UI, and then paste that in there, and let's group these. Let's group them, and we want to center align the tick, and we want to times it by 3, and we're going to center align it again. For some reason it doesn't do it straight away. So center align. We are going to make that blue 500. Okay, so it's got that nice symbol. And then the last one that we want to do is a back button. And we'll group that, Command G, Command V, and we don't want that to be too dark grey because it's not the primary action. Let's make it mid grey, grey 500, and there we go. So very simple. Again, this one, you can't, sometimes the contrast is not great, so we might want to make that a bit darker. Okay, so maybe 30%, so you can see it a bit better. And so now we have our mobile app, Smart Animate, with a bit of neomorphism. So let's just check it out. Play. Nice. Ooh, very nice. You see that? So that is pretty cool. And that's in under 15 minutes. And then if you want to take it a bit further, you can go absolutely crazy sometimes. So for example, if I was to copy this one and bring it in here, drag it down, and what we want to do is say it's 0 and 0. If I play, you're going to see it appear from the bottom. And you didn't. Wonder why that didn't work. That is strange. Should have worked. Nearly. So nearly, yet so far. Group 13. Actually, let's see it again. So, yeah. Interesting. So the last one did not really animate for some reason. And to be honest, I have no idea why. We are playing around, right? So let's try that again. Maybe because it's a group. I'm wondering if that's why. But it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. But it might be. So that one is in a group as well. So it shouldn't be the case. If I copy that again, I'll just slightly move it down. Or let's bring it down a bit more. And then we go to share again. Let's see what will happen. Ah, there you go. Don't know why. So you see that move from the bottom to inside. I mean, that is pretty nice. Okay, and if we want it to be, I'm not sure why, to be fair. Maybe because the opacity is all 0. So if I try that again, because I wanted it to fade in. Let's try that again. If it doesn't work, it's fine. So, okay, so that worked. Nice, okay. And then similarly, we can do the same thing for this one. So here, we are just gonna slightly, not go too crazy, okay? Because millennials don't like animation apparently, but I do. Again, we're just playing around with this tutorial. And then we're gonna make that 0 and 0. Let's see if we can do it under 20 minutes. And then let's see how that looks. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Very, very nice. So, yeah, I think you can already imagine how crazy you would go if you're going to end up changing all of these. They could all come in like, you know, staggered look. But I think this is just a really nice, simple example. And neomorphism, for example, right? If I was to duplicate the page, because you have to have a new page when you do another prototype. This one, we're gonna just play around with effects to give it that realistic look. And you can go even deeper and play around, but if I'm just adding these straight away, the shadows give it that realistic look. So here you can just see that it gives it that realistic look. Same thing here. This might be overkill, but you can see that drop shadow, inner shadow. You know, that might not work for that one, but that again is pretty nice. And one nice thing to do is just to change up this one here. We can make that a gradient. So let's go from blue down to blue 400. Yeah, so you got that nice gradient look. And this might be overkill, but hey, we're playing around. You can actually make these shadows the dark blue. So actually, can I do that quickly here? No, it won't let you. Okay, that's a shame. Worth a try. But around 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this video. We did a mobile app. We used smart animation for a prototype and a dash of neomorphism right at the end. So please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell. My name is Roy, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful evening, afternoon, or morning. Well, saying that backwards, but yeah.